guys, so today was day 9 with my first Mustang, and I was thinking last night about the fact that I'm super ready to get a halter on him so I can take him out to eat grass and do fun stuff like that to deepen our connection. And I've been so focused on that I forgot that the only thing that I've been doing since I got him is try to get him to that point. But first, he really needs to learn that I am here for him and that I don't always have to expect something from him. And you might be thinking, well, what have you been expecting from him? And the answer to that is I've been expecting him to allow me to touch him. And so I'm kind of taking a step back today, and I'm just doing my morning meditation out here with him, doing my breath work, and then just sitting here with him for a while. And as you can see right now, his face is itchy, so he's scratching it on the hay net over there, which gives me valuable information. When he does allow me to touch his face, I know that that front spot right between his eyes is going to be a good place to start rewarding him with, since he immediately sought out this hay net to scratch on. And now as I'm watching him here, I'm still super focused on my breathing and making sure that I'm not really thinking anything. I'm just completely present. And I think this is going to be very beneficial for him because, as you can see here, he's really letting out his personality a little bit more now that I'm not asking anything of him. I'm just existing with him today. And this makes it more about him instead of the goals that I have set. Now, this is certainly not wasted time, as I'm learning right now that he is a super curious horse. He just pulled this hay net off the fence and it didn't really spook him. If Ruby had done that a year ago, she would have scared herself half to death and run half a mile away from it. So it's good to see that he's very curious once he's comfortable. Same thing with this bucket. He's just fiddling with it, biting it. He'll pick it up and just kind of play with it. This has me thinking about getting him a jolly ball to play with. None of my other horses have ever been interested, but with this behavior, I'm pretty certain that he might love it. And before I moved the bucket over there, he was actually rolling it around. So spending time with your horse is beneficial because you can allow them to just be themselves, and you figure out what their likes and dislikes are and how they like to spend their time. Stay tuned for part 2. Hanging out with my Mustang for a while this morning, I went to get his feed, and I fed him right here next to the fence and then sat right beside him. I was watching a video from Mike Rashid the other day, and he spoke about how the first thing we try to do with our Mustangs is touch them. And I am certainly guilty of this because I just want to untangle that mane so badly. But in hindsight, it's more important that he understands that I'm not always going to expect anything, and that he is comfortable with just motions that humans make in general. So the purpose of what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting him used to normal human behaviors as I'm just chilling with him. At the beginning of the session, when I move my arm or move my hair out of my face, he would back off, thinking that I'm reaching for him or something like that. So now, by this point, he's understanding that every move that I make is not a threat to him. And so I'm kind of just scooting his food around in his bowl, looking around, and you'll see when he comes back for another bite, I'm going to pet the air near him, because even just that motion definitely makes him feel a little bit nervous. So if I can do it at a distance, it'll make it much easier when I go to actually begin touching him a little bit more, because he'll understand what that motion is and that it's not a harmful thing. Since I want to halter him soon, I am doing this air petting motion towards his face, since he seems pretty head shy, and there he actually brought his face to my hand while he was taking a bite of food. And all the other times when this has happened, he's pulled it away like really quickly as soon as he feels me touch him. But this time he just kind of, let it happen and felt it, which is a great sign that he's becoming more and more comfortable with me touching his face. I am so glad that I took this time just to hang out with him today, because I've discovered a lot of things about him that will help me better train him and better understand him from this point moving forward. So I'm just moving my hand in a bunch of different directions as well, so he can get used to all these normal motions that humans do all the time. And I've decided I'm going to incorporate days like this periodically throughout his training.